Hello YouTube and welcome to another moto vlog coming at you from Mountain Ridge off-road park, motorsports park, I don't know. Some kind of off-road extravaganza they got up here in the middle of Pennsylvania. It's pretty cool, to say the least, and I hope to take you along with me and maybe convince you to come out here. That might be the goal of this video. So the other goal of this video, I think, as you're about to see, is to show off how slow I am on a motorcycle in the dirt. Oh yes, what do I got? The clutch pulled in, using that front brake, taking it real slow down this hill. Stupid. This is my first go on this dirt bike in like 6 months, so yeah, you gotta forgive me for being stupid. Now we're continuing on the main trail. As you can see, it's a two-way trail. This is basically the trail that connects all the one-way trails together. So we're crossing this bridge. We've gone a decent ways down the trail at this point. Now we're crossing this bridge, and we're heading up to what is supposedly a more easy trail. But it's like I went the wrong way. The guy even warned me. He said, you know, this is more like a medium, even though it's marked as easy. And as you'll see when we get up there, it is what it is, you know. More of a medium trail, I guess. Difficult to ride. You can see we're continuing on. Everything's pretty good at this point, right? It's all mud and nice, and it's really not too bad. Then very quickly, the rocks kick in, and this basically becomes a stream. With just no dirt or anything. It's just all rocks. You're just riding on rocks and nothing else. There's just not much you can do about that. Try to maneuver, try to make it as easy as you can on yourself, and just try not to crash, really. You can see I'm going pretty slow. I don't know if I'm going too slow. It's just that my bike crawls in first gear, and it makes this pretty easy for me. Oop, stalled. He's smart. He's got that KTM 2-stroke. It's got a long first gear, unlike my bike, and he's got to keep his momentum up. One thing both of our bikes have in common is that we don't have bar risers, so standing up is quite uncomfortable. We're both kind of tall, like around, I think he's around 5'11", or 5'10", and I'm around 5'11", 6 feet. We're both pretty tall, and it's really uncomfortable to stand up on these bikes. You have to really reach for the bars when you're standing up, and it means that your back is arched like a lot, and you can't stand up straight. It's just no good at all. That's just no good at all. So we're continuing on. Just showing off. This is the first real mud puddle of the day. Not too bad. It looks deeper actually than it was on the video. The video makes it look deeper than it was. That's interesting. So I also have to apologize for my little smudge in the center of the camera there. I don't know what's going on with that. I think there's actually water, or maybe my camera's permanently damaged. I don't know what's going on. Ooh, that was almost a crash. I really banged into that tree hard. And only my Bark Buster saved me from it just slamming the brake and then going flying. Gotta be careful. Can't get pushed around by the rocks too much, or else you're gonna have a bad day. So moving on. This is actually one of the easy trails here. As you can see, it's not all rocks. We got some mud too. Don't know what that is on the left. Oh, tires. Don't know why that's there. That's interesting. So this is the main trail again, but just much further down, or somewhat further down. And as you can see, you got a lot of people here riding on the gravel, which apparently you're not supposed to do. So I didn't do it. I rode here on the rocky dirt area. That's just, you know, the best way to describe it. That's pretty cool. Those windmills are churning there. I don't know what they call them. Wind turbines or something. Windmills, wind turbine. I'm not really sure. So now we're hitting the easy trail right here. This is the start of it. And yeah, I mean it was actually a mostly pretty easy trail. It wasn't too rocky. It was muddy, but the mud has plenty of grip when you have decent tires. At least this mud did. This mud had plenty of grip when you had decent tires, which I do. So it wasn't, I mean, yeah, I just don't know how to handle sliding. You saw me get a little head shake there, and it's like, why? What am I doing wrong, right, to get the head shake? I should be able to slide the bike nice and smoothly without getting the head shake. But, you know, I'm a beginner, so that takes practice. Letting the guy, now you can see him. The reason I put this clip in was, yeah, I can show how slow I am. But at the same time, look how he was standing. He was standing up like straight as an arrow and still gripping his bars. That's what I need. I need to be able to stand up at least relatively straight and grip the bars so that it's like a comfortable position. Like you can see that. Like he looks comfortable standing up on the bike. And like, okay, on my GS, I'm comfortable standing up on the bike. And on no other bike I've ever ridden have I been comfortable. The GS is the only bike I've had that I've ever ridden. That's comfortable to stand up on. Now you can see me shaking my head. I was trying to do a wheelie, but totally fucked it up. Oh no, I'm cursing again. Sorry. Well, it's late. It's 11:30 p.m. and I'm tired. Let some slip. Let a bomb go off. This is a cool little area. That's the only reason I'm showing this. I just like the way the pine trees look, or whatever those are. Evergreen type trees. Ooh, there was another like bit of head shake, and then I was pointed right at a tree and I had to save it. It's like not good. Like, is it because I'm going too slow? I don't know. And I think it's because I'm not standing up. Here's a hill climb. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna continue along the easy route. Sorry. That's all I can tell you. I'm just gonna continue along the easy route. Over here. Hill climb doesn't look that steep. But when you're looking at it in person, I can tell you it does look steep. There we go. Looks very steep. Now here's a little bit of tiny little mounds. Doing tiny little wheelies over these. I just don't know how to wheelie. So I have to use like the terrain to help me. I guess I know how to wheelie, I just don't have the balls to do it. So if I want to do any kind of wheelies, like that's it right there. I gotta practice. I gotta get myself somewhere where I can practice doing wheelies. I'd love to.
Thank you! Thank you!
Some very cool people, you know, letting me by. And they weren't exactly going slow either, compared to me. You know, my slow ass, you know, I was barely faster than them, and they slowed down and let me by. Some of these pine trees or evergreens, whatever. Fern trees. I don't know what the hell the difference is. I don't know my trees. It's just all there is to it. As you can see, I'm actually starting to go a little faster at this point. This is like a little further on the first trail. Starting to get a little more confident, you know? Just a little bit. Starting to get a feel for the slipping and the sliding and kind of the basics of what you need to do to keep yourself like okay. God, I love the wind turbines. It's such a cool thing. I don't know who says these things ruin the look. I think they look badass, especially when they're turning. It makes me just wonder about like the science of the whole thing. Like you got that one turning in the background there, and you don't have the one to the right turning. And it's because of their like orientation. Are they oriented so that like, oh my god, the maximum... I'm going to stop talking about this before I get into it too much. But it's cool. I really like them. I think they're really cool. It's neat. It makes the hillside look really interesting. And if the company is generous enough to allow us to ride our motorcycles around them legally, then I'm all for it. You know? Put more windmills in. Make it more badass. I think one of the reasons they don't like us running on the roads, so I was talking about the guys not being allowed to run on those gravel roads earlier, right? And I think the main reason is they bury the cables under that gravel. And if you start tearing up the road too much, like the roads are really well graded, and if you start tearing up the roads too much with vehicles and debris and stuff, they have to keep the roads in good shape. So when they come out onto those roads and they see that people have done a bunch of donuts, or like people have like gouged ruts into them, or like this or that, they have to repair that like right away, and it's like costing the company money. So I don't think they're big happy people about that. Because those roads are really well maintained. You can tell like no one ever drives on them unless they absolutely have to. And when they do get driven on, they've been repaired and like regraded, which is nuts. So it makes you wonder, like, how are these windmills connected, like, topographically to the power grid, you know? There has to be some kind of substation somewhere that all these things centrally connect to transform the wind power into, like, the correct frequency and phase of electricity. Because the wind, it doesn't, like, the phase of the thing and the frequency of it is dependent on the wind. So all that's got to get translated into and we're back on topic. We're getting back at it. Going down this hill. Look how much faster I'm going. I got the clutch out, I'm in gear. I'm just ripping it down the hill like it's no problem, like it should be. So maybe, you know, that's good. Oh, a little foreshadowing. Maybe I'll go up there. Maybe I won't. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Now we're just continuing along. This is one of the newer trails. Had a bit of an incident there, you know. Pretty cool. It's just good stuff. I don't really have too much to say. I'm just, you know, watching these clips along with you. This is the part where you get bored and turn it off, right? Because I'm fumbling. I'm doing a couple things here while I'm trying to record this, and it's like getting late, and I don't want to do a lot of takes, and I still have messages to respond to at the same time. So yes, I'm texting and recording. That's what I'm getting at here. Yeah, I don't know if you just saw that. I think that's a very good point. Texting, recording, and then boom, I hit a deer. At least I didn't hit a deer today. That's all very, very good. No deer were hit in the making of this film. Continuing on, I think this is a pretty good video this turned out. You know, maybe my voiceover recording isn't that great. Sorry, but you know, this is some fun riding. I think Honda has hit, to do a little mini review of my bike, I think Honda has hit it right on the head when they say the CRF 230F is a fun bike that makes riding fun. That's what this thing is. It is just fun. Is it fast? No. Does it have good suspension? It's okay for like someone like me. But no. But it's a fun bike. Look at this. Look at me plowing up this little hill. No problem. Just ripping it up in first gear. You can go so slow in first gear and you don't have to use the clutch. I waited there for a bit and my friends didn't show up, and they finally showed up. They were having big problems. And then we get to where everything goes wrong for me. Everything goes wrong. I'm stuck on a route. I don't know if you noticed that. I'm stuck on a route and I don't know what to do. What I should have done is backed up a bit and not done that. And let the bike slip out of my hand. And of course no one saw me. So here's my other compatriot doing it. No problem.
Yeah, push it up here.
It actually took him a bit, but he got it. That was a success. No dropping of his bike. The other compatriot, he stayed on his bike and got up there. Very smart. He just whipped his rear tire around the root towards the tree, and that worked pretty well. So now we're heading back.
Keep your feet down. Yeah, walk.
Because honestly, we can't do this trail. I mean, I can probably handle it, maybe. But they're a little worried that it's beyond their skill level, and I don't know if I agree. I think doing trails like this is what makes you better as a rider. It forces your clutch control, it forces your hand. You have to be good. But we can't do wheelies yet. I think that's the problem. We don't have that clutch control to just like pop up a wheelie like no problem. We're actually almost at the end of the video, guys. So if you watch this, I think it's a little too short. Thanks for watching. I barely got to talk about anything. I just went over the clips and ranted a little bit. So, yeah.
Woo!
Think about your riding.